Yo! Yo. Wow, 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 wow. 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 Nemo, how's it going? It is time. I have returned from my weekend. On a Wednesday morning. Alrighty, well. Let me just turn the music down slightly. There we go. You here watching tiny your tutorials? Hell yeah! Welcome to the stream. Hope you've been enjoying the videos. Oh, why is my Twitch isn't connected? Hold on. Why are you not? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Now it's connected to Twitch. Now I will just need to check the Twitch messages. Hold on. Stream manager. Butter, how's it going? How's it going? Isn't this your fav boy Charlie? That's right. That is correct. Yeah, Lux, how's it going? Digging the towel? Thank you. It's good. It's keeping my head warm. Very nice and warm. Ray 3D, how's it going? Good evening, like content. Would you recommend a place to learn the stuff you do with the Prismatic plugin, like water, snow deformations, and stuff? It's a great question. I'm trying to think. So there's kind of like, there's a few elements to the water and deform stuff. The main two being drawing to a render target and then actually the effects themselves, you know? Like if I open the project real quick. Mainly render target stuff. Gotcha. I would look at... There's a video in particular about using Niagara Grid 2D by a fella named Chris Zuko. Niagara Grid 2D locations. This one here. So... yeah, if you check out this video that I just, what's it called? Just sent in the chat. That'll kind of get you started with the basics of like how to draw stuff to a render target using like the new Grid 2D method. So you can see here if I just, if we just look at what he's doing. He's just getting a bunch of positions, sending them into Niagara, and then drawing, you know, some shapes. And they're like fading out over time and whatnot. So that's sort of like the basis of my system, is literally just sending in, well, not just locations, but a location, radius, velocity, strength. And then just, yeah, doing a shader for each location and all that kind of shit. And so that's how mine works, you know. So, like, essentially I'm drawing this and whatnot. Or I'm drawing, you know, colors to bend grass in a certain direction, or to bend foliage around and all that kind of stuff. The water is kind of different. The water is like, it's the same. The input is the same, but then the actual ripples is, how do I even put it? The ripples is a different thing. Having that method accurate, depends scaling the grid. How do you make it exactly where you want? So I have the grid. So the grid, the Niagara grid, it doesn't actually exist in world space, if that makes sense. But I essentially send in the location that I want it to follow, and then I move it around, and, you know, we erase stuff off there. Why does that not do the... Oh, because we're erasing the... Oh, that's kind of funny. So yeah, that's sort of the gist of that. Yeah. Reference for the ripples. There's a really old version of like a water shader thingo. It uses like the old render target draw to and from method. It's kind of hard to explain. I can try and find it. It's like a Unreal Engine 4 water ripples rendered target. And it also is like stationary. Yeah, here it is. So it's essentially an adaptation of this that's less fucked up. This one's pretty jank, but the shader code here is kind of the main thing. So you just have to do this in Niagara, which I've done in the plugin in water simulation. So we get 4 samples in each, you know, north, south, east, west direction. Subtract the original height. Multiply by 4, just so it's the same strength as this. So this is the difference between the current ripple state and the blurred ripple state, or the expanded ripple state. Then we get the previous frame's final water height. And we do some shit and then subtract that from it. And that's what makes it expand outwards. Why is it blue note? I think just because it's maybe experimental. Technically. Yeah. Was this part of the example content back then? Yeah, it actually might be. It might be part of the old thingo. Why can I not go up? Oh, there. No. Isn't it usually space to go up? Or am I... No, it's Q and... Oh, blue note equals redundant. No, I know for sure that they're new. Like the nodes. I think the note is there to say that it's replacing a deprecated node or something. Because it's technically from Niagara Fluids, which is an experimental plugin. Like all of the Niagara Grid 2D is in Niagara Fluids, which is, you know, trash. All right. The moment we've all been waiting for is... I'm going to do some videos this week. We're going to record one today. Yeah, Ohio skibidi rizzler. Let's, my life for the next month. Alright, we're gonna do YouTube videos. We're gonna do... I'm kind of torn, right? I had a little accidental delve into C++ the other day. And I was starting to see into the matrix, you know? You know what I mean? So... yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I want to do C++, you know? I feel like there's some stuff, right? That I'm inevitably going to move to C++. Like for my big, you know, virtualized simulation system and whatnot. Mainly just the iteration parts. You know? Or just any expensive operation that needs to be done constantly. Also, does anyone know when 5.4.2 comes out? Because I actually want to start doing... I want to move to 5.4. Yeah. Code paste the blueprint function into JPG, I said rewrite in C++, looked correct, never tested it. I reckon they should, Epic should hire someone to train an AI to just like, you know, literally just convert blueprint to C++. You know? Because it's technically not like... I don't know. You get so many little errors and shit. C++ is easy? I mean... Oh, you know what? I haven't actually looked at in a little while. Blueprint... What was that fella's name? Who was it that was working on a plugin about UE5 blueprint? Recompiler plugin. No, what was the name of it? It was a error. Yeah. Yep. I think I found their X page. Their X videos page. Right, this was it. Let me find. Working on it. Anyway, they were working on, yeah, BP2C, that was it. Yeah, Unreal Engine BP2C. So yeah, it's essentially like nativization, but instead of converting blueprints to their C++, it like is it's like compiling the bytecode of the blueprint and removing it from the blueprint virtual machine or some shit, so that it doesn't have the VM overhead. Because that's something that I noticed when Sov was refactoring the plugin. One of the main chunks, because we were doing like massive iterations on, you know, like hundreds of operations across thousands of shapes. Every time like a blueprint function is called, it has like a fixed kind of amount of time for it to like dip in and out of the Blueprint VM. So it kind of seems like it's not really that Blueprint itself is slower, because it's just calling C++ stuff. It's actually calling it that is expensive or slow. Anyway, right, okay, so this is what's next month? Wednesday, May, April, May, June. YouTube videos. Blah, blah, blah. I wanted to do 5.4 character physics. Character physical movement doodles. Doodling. Dueling. We've native access to solid and simple. Yeah, exactly. But it's also like the amount of time you save by just doing stuff in Blueprint. If you are, what's it called? I'm gonna take my hair out now. If you are, I've lost my train of thought. Right, yeah, if you're competent with blueprints, you can just, like, do stuff giga fast, which is great. And then, if it isn't really that expensive to begin with, it's like, it's kind of a net positive with, you know. Baby macro is like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, actually that's, like, I forgot that, I forgot that the loops are macros, which is like, so bad. Yeah, so even just stuff like, I think what I wanted to do was mainly like, iterations slash find functions. Well, not find, but like, well, yeah. Find slash whatever. Base classes slash struct defs. The other thing I wanted to do was what were they called? Instanced static objects. Or static instanced objects. This is for Prismatica stuff. Hot reload, you mean crash and recompile? Shit. That's based though. Very true. Used to be a code leader, but my second Unreal game using 90% Blueprint versus C++. See, that's like, that's kind of where I think I'll end up. Like, I'll do some, you know, give a lot of things a basis in C++, and then extend them in Blueprint, which is literally just how Blueprint's supposed to be used anyway, you know? So, like, for the, for like, you know, the entity composition system and whatnot, it'll be like entity defined in C++, a bunch of functions that are implemented in C++, like search for or find fragment by tag, which will go through all fragments. Can't remember if the fragment list was going to be an array or a map. Could technically, if it was a map, it would be faster in Blueprint. Yeah, it would be. But yeah, so it would look through stuff, find it, return it. Bam, bam, bam. But these would all be populated in Blueprint. Want to do C++ today? Nah. Nah. I'll probably, I'm going to record a video today. Which is going to be what we're doing here. Flowmaps. RVTs. Well, Flowmaps. What are they? Why are they? Oops. How are they? And literally the same with RVTs. I wanted to do... Go to physical movement doodling. Constraints. Well, just testing. Constraints. Constraints / tethers. I wanted to test knockback. And I wanted to test sliding. Sliding. Oh, I also... sorry. Wanted to test... what's it called when you, like, walk on something? Like two-way... movement... stuff. Like... or like... Walking... creates backward force. Question mark? You know what I mean? Oh, I could even do, maybe even soft colliders could. If you can just do a force. That could actually be giga easy. Because it could be soft collision, or we do that in C++. Soft collision. If it doesn't work in there. So soft collision is, you've got like the character capsule, and it's like, it's rock hard. Like if it goes into a wall, it will pop out, you know, in that same frame. So my idea, and I've done it before, and it works really well. It does get a bit expensive because, again, I was doing it all in Blueprint, and when you have a bunch of characters packed really tightly together, it's a bit of a nightmare, but you basically just do another capsule around the character, just with a bigger radius. So this middle one is like the... Let's say this is character. And they're like, ooh, they got big shoulders and shit. Very anatomically correct. So you usually you would, I mean, in some projects, you'd have your character collision be, like, big, right? But for me, I tend to put the character collision, the hard one, so that it just kind of covers the torso of the character. And then the soft collider is like kind of like a personal space bubble, right? So essentially when two characters are close together, they will push each other apart. And so you end up with, like, if you've got a bunch of characters like this that are all tightly packed and whatever, you can actually go here and you'll start to push them away from one another, but they're also all pushing on each other. But you can kind of, like, squeeze through them. You know what I mean? If you use, like, a soft collision method. Oh, it's like a hybrid, you know, soft and hard collision. It's like a, trying to think of like a candy or like a chocolate that has a, it's like a fucking, you know, those cream eggs, caramel, those fucking, it's like chocolate egg with like caramel and shit in it. I don't fucking know. It's like that. Like me in the morning. Exactly. So I'm gonna check what's on it. I had to code it myself, yeah. But I'm wondering if it would be to do actual physics force or just add movement to the overlap data. So the way I had to do it originally was to get position, add an offset set position. And then... And, like, that worked pretty much fine. But I'm wondering if I could, with the 5.4 physical character stuff, how it reacts to impulses and whatnot. Impulses and forces. Because I know that the old character movement system... it was kind of annoying because you had to, like... You could apply force or apply impulse or whatever. But it was really sticky. You know? Like, you had to... You had to, like... There must have been, like, a standing, like, a static friction or some shit. I don't know. That, like, only when you exceed that amount of force, it would start moving. But it would start moving fast. There was no, like... It couldn't move just, like, a tiny bit. It was either it doesn't move at all, or it moves quite fast. So, I'm wondering if I need to do that. But, yeah. So yeah, that'll be a fun little experiment. Yo, Boom! How's it going? Rotundity. That's a big cat. It got even bigger. Holiest moliest. Continue refactoring entire game. Operation Krago. Nice. Also, like, I'm just gonna call this code stuff, equipment, and then fragment stuff is in here. I wanted to mesh merging with morph bakes. Sov brain. Is this planned for a year? No, it's just for this month. These are just things that I... Just so I have something to work on, you know, at all times. Redo some meshes with morphs instead of vert color. I might even Can texture arrays be... You know what? Hold on. Can a texture array... UE5 texture array 2D runtime. Can't make a texture array at runtime, question mark? Also, Rosie. Joe many months? 15. Skibidi Riz. That's right. That's right. It'll be 80 before we know it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I might do doodle dick with texture arrays, question mark, question mark. Well, no, because the... Maybe. If they can be edited at runtime. Prismatica face rig? Face/rig. I also wanted to, I'll do that later. And then there's the obvious, open source. Open sausage. Open sausage. C++. He got me. Maybe. I've still got to do those instanced objects. But I may possibly be, you know, diving in a tiny bit. Sound so excited. Yep, yep. Let me do a little divider between realms. Oh yeah, I've actually done a video on custom data, and then also per instance custom data. Prismatica complete restart V57. That's, yeah, legit. Legit. What about hit the hash griddy? And then in brackets, plus Niagara data channels. Because if I wanted to use Niagara data channels, I would need to decode the hash grid in Niagara, probably. Griddy and Prismatica, please? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. People are using too many instance materials when they don't need it? Yeah, exactly, exactly. Paint stuff, hash grid, sand, falling down, slump. Was there anything else that I needed to do in the plugin? I'm pretty sure that's it, right? Oh, my internet is DIYing. Yeah, where my internet at? Yeah, why my internet hitting the griddy? When 600 if statements. Hell yeah. New plugin, question mark. Character drawer. like the old one, but less shit. Oh, and I also need the texture splatter. Cool. All right. I'll be right back. But then we'll actually get started. We're gonna film a video. One of these ones. So BRB. Oh. I'm very pale. Let me just turn my exposure down. Aha. Yeah, where's my hairbrush at? It's gone. All right, well, I'm back. Let's get to work. So we're going to be doing a video in a little bit. We're going to be talking about Flowmaps, because I recently delved into Flowmaps, and I realized I never made a video about them. So I need to actually think about what we actually cover. End result. Then... So yeah, we're basically going to be like... Got early access? Yeah, true. Yeah, we're basically going to be like... Talk about this effect. Although, yeah, well, yeah, no, I guess this is what I use it for, which is fine. PrismaticaDev milk update. Here it is. Genealogy update. So true. Basically gonna be like talk about this effect. Yeah. It's gonna be show the end result. What? Wrong with panners? How Flowmap function works, why mine is way better. Panners can't be changed. Gradually, because time. Can't use a texture to have well, has to be a uniform direction. So Barocca Games, hello. It's been longer than the last time I saw you, is it? I guess it is, yeah, it's growing all the time. It just keeps on growing. I did want to... There was an asset pack in my... Was it this, or was it the Mountain Grasslands one? I think it was actually this. It was one of the background mountains. But I'm pretty sure it had a flow map texture. Mountains. Mountain 1. Can't remember if this had a... No, it doesn't. Just had a base color. And then the normals. Yeah. No, I mean, I could kind of... That's a height map. Who up Gaia? Yeah, that's Gaia as hell. I could probably make something work with this. Because it's essentially an erosion map. So I've just contrasted that and then use the normal direction as the flow. It would be flowing inwards though. Gonna rotate my... Yeah. I might even just look up, flow map generator. Online flow map maker. A visual paradigm. Oh no, that's like a flow chart. Yikes. Here we go. Superposition. How much is it? Huh? $25. Blah, 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 blah. Interesting. Anyway, what's today's plan, Mr. Streamer? Well, I'm glad you asked. Gonna be doing a video, a vidya. Let me just export these. Just, where's the in and out folder? There it is. Video Kojima. Nice. Mr. Video Game. Hog. Fuck, maybe I should make a Flowmap generator plugin. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe there is one in the dude. Marketplace. Flowmap. Marketplace. Marketplace. Oh, this fucking Jesus Christ. Flowmap. Physics. Flowmap. Painter. Advanced Flowmap system. You can paint in real time on any surface, shape, and character. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, no one's. What is this? Ross 90. Oh, right. What version was this? Oh, okay, so it's an old boy. UE4. This is kind of like what I... Can we, like, pump it? Kind of confused. I can't really see anything. Right. Oh, so it paints the flow map itself. Okay, whatevs. That ain't me, bruh. Yeah, it looks like nothing really does it. Oh, no, okay, yeah, this is what I was thinking of doing, which is spawn a bunch of particles, track their locations, and draw it to a render target in editor. But again, this is an old one, so anyway, Flowmaps. Let's go to project. Interesting way of doing it. Yeah, I think it would get the job done. Maybe. Alright, let's do a quick recording test. Let me just get the music louder. Nice. Hello and welcome back to another episode of 5-Minute Materials. Today we're going to be not doing much because this is just a recording test. So, without any further adios, skibidi riz Ohio L plus ratio. Finish recording. There we go. Hello and welcome back to another episode of 5-Minute Materials. Today we're going to be not doing much because this is just a recording test. So, without any further adios, skibidi riz Ohio L plus ratio. Huh? What do you want, little boy? There's a cat. Can you guys see the cat? Out here? No. Huh? Hold on. Hello, boy. You coming in? Eh? Coming inside? Yikes. Let me... Sorry, I'm so disorganized. I don't know how I ever managed to make videos in the first place. Let me just turn my gate off. Cool. Because I do gating and stuff in my edit session. What? All right, let me get this damn cat inside, and then we start talking about Flowmaps. You know, we flowing, we mapping. I've got a flow like skibidi. All right, let's go. Thinger. Hello. I'm back. All right. Oh, the other thing I have to do real quick is change the resolution of my dude. We're going small mode. Yo, we small? Any small people? There's me. There's my... there we go. A little border. We don't want any chatters on screen, because they're all degens. No offense. And then... here's my notes. Here's my screen. Put me and me only on screen. I think you're one of like the most degen chatters, so sorry. It's just not good for like the image of the channel, you know. I also want to change my recording location to not a fucking external SSD. I want to just put it on my Z drive. How much juice do we have left? 211. My D drive has okay, extra space. We're gonna have our new folder. This is called YouTube footage. Yeah. Then in here, we're gonna go output recording. Fuck, I can't fucking change it because I'm already streaming. It's probably fine, right? If the stream crashes, then I'll change it, maybe. All right, well, let's begin. Let us get us begin us. Why do I look so like skibidi? Right, I need to put on the YouTube Riz. Let's get rizzlered. Rizzed up. Oh yeah, I also need to get rid of the chatters. You guys can oh, get out of here. There you go. Oh, well. Hello and welcome back to another 5-minute materials video. Today we're going to be talking about flow maps. What is a flow map? And what can we do with a flow map? Why is a flow map? Let's explore. So one of the things I've been using flow maps for recently, and the reason that I've, started and I'll do it again. So one of the things I've been using flow maps for recently, and what actually drove me to make this video in the first place, is this effect here. And you can see that it's essentially a map of where something should flow. Right, that's it. Thanks for watching the video. And with that, we say... I'm just kidding. Now, this is very much different to a panner. We're going to actually explore how they differ in this video and when you should use each of them. So you can imagine this is a really useful effect for things like wind. It's very commonly used in rivers for, like, you know, the flow. It's very commonly used in rivers and, like, bodies of water to deal with things like, you know, the direction of the river. It can also deal with, like, foam on the edges of stuff. And in my case, I'm using it to do foam from movement and interaction in water bodies. And you can also use it for... And it's also commonly used for things like water dripping down a surface, just so, you know, it goes in all of the sort of crevices and whatnot. So, without any further ado, let us begin the explanation. Let us begin learning. Alright. Save clip. Easy mode. Making videos is so easy. Why doesn't everyone just make videos, you know? Roguelike video? Yeah, true. I'll do it again. Alright, so what is wrong with panners? Let's go to... Let me actually just go to one of the Prismatica maps, because it kind of looks nicer. Maybe I'll just put that one underground. All right. Let's get a... Oh, you know what? I'll actually get one of those cubes. Bring you up. You are going to be our little example, dude. Exemple. Content. Z dump. New folder. This is the Flowmap video. Bam. Right, we need a new material. It's just called new material. We are gonna get a texture. Actually, I'll set it up in the video. Yeah. Okay. So to start off with... So, to start off with, let's discuss why a panner can be a bad idea sometimes. So, if you're not sure what a panner is, essentially if we get a texture, we get a panner, and we plug it in to the UVs, we chuck that into the base color, and we just set the speed to, I don't know, 0.01 or something. We hit save, and you can see that we now have a texture that is slowly moving sideways. You can see if I just make this a bit faster, it's going to be panning in the direction that we specified at the speed that we specified. Now, the way that a panner actually works under the hood is we get the original texture coordinates, so our original UVs. We then get time, which is the game time in seconds, and we add an offset to the texture coordinates. So, for example, if I just had just a 2 vector, and we're just going to do it in the X direction, and I just had a value, so we can essentially skip through time. We're going to get this, we're going to multiply that by this, add that to the text coords, put that into the UVs, and I'm just going to cut to here where I'm not fucking around as much. Bam. Okay. And then if we hit save, you can see that we're not moving, but as I increase this value, we are panning the texture. So after 1 second, we've done one whole revolution. So after we've gone through 1 second of time, we've gone one whole UV space. So if I keep doing this, you can see it's just panning through, and essentially if we were using time instead of that parameter, then this would just keep moving at 1 tile per second. 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't fucking know if that's correct. Okay, so this looks like it's doing what we're telling it to do, but where does it go wrong? So the first place that this is going to go wrong is if the direction changes at runtime. If the direction changes gradually at runtime. So, for example, let's just get this. We're going to normalize this value. Just because we're going to be changing this at runtime. We're going to convert this to a parameter, blah, 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 blah. Just get the RG. I'm too dumb. Okay. So you can see if I just punch in another variable, you know, it's moving diagonally. If I get rid of this, it's moving vertically. If I do this negative, don't tell, oh, you son of a bitch. Why can you not be negative? You got to do it in here. If I make this a negative value, you can see that it will go in the opposite red direction. You know, so they're back to that, blah, blah, blah. -1, it's going to go down. But if I gradually start increasing the red direction, you can see that it skips over a bunch. And it gets very jerky, and it's only when we stop changing the value that we get the effect that we wanted in the first place. Now, the reason for this is to do with the way that time works. So if we just go back to having our static value, then you can see if, let's just say we were 0.5 seconds into our session, as I start, you know, changing the red value, you can see that, you know, it's from like the center offset, it's kind of swinging around in an arc like this. And then as we go 1 second in the future, you can see that that arc travels more distance. And then, obviously, if we were like several minutes in to our session, you know, maybe we're like maybe we're 2 minutes in, then as we start changing the value gradually, it's just going all over the place. Now, there is one way that you can sort of alleviate this with a panner. Hold on. Now this limitation also applies to changing the speed of time at runtime. So if we just got time multiplied by this multiplied by a speed value, and then multiplied by the direction. You can see that if time was 1, we get this. If it was 2, it goes twice as fast. If it was 0.1, it's less fast. But you can see that if I try to change this gradually, this value gradually over time, it's going to do that same thing where it like skips a bunch of values and looks absolutely terrible. So if I had a wind, for example, and the wind, I wanted the speed of the wind waves to speed up, I wouldn't be able to just use time and gradually speed it up like this, because if we wanted to go from 1.5 to 2, then it's going to jump through a bunch of other values on the way to there. Now, another way... Oh. Who's this guy? Now, another way to think of this is if we had a graph, which was time. Oh, well, no, it would be distance over time. So if we had a graph that was distance over time, so imagine just by default, it's 1 second per second, 1 unit per second. You can imagine if we are all the way over here, and then we change the speed, we jump through a bunch of different values in order to get here. And then from that point onwards, it's, you know, it looks good at this speed. But then if we wanted to change it again, change the speed, we jump through, you know, a bunch of other values that, you know, kind of like, Yeah. So ideally what we would want is to actually kind of go like this and then slow down and then speed up and then slow down, rather than using, you know, the current game time where we have to kind of jump almost to like a different parallel timeline, if you want to think of it that way. And warping to that other timeline causes all this crazy, you know, skibidi riz. Like this. So, that... It's so bright in here. What the fuck is going on? You know, let me just close that blind real quick. Haha. So, that is what... Oh, no, I'm not even fucking recording. Haha. Haha, XD. Now I am recording. So, that is why pandas can be the wrong choice for some applications. Basically, if it needs to change at runtime... oh, the other... Now, another place where pandas fail us is if we wanted to pan different parts of the texture in different directions. So if I got another texture, I'm pretty sure there's one just called game wind noise, and we just mask that in the RG. If I, instead of using our direction, if we instead used a texture rather than like a full uniform direction, and then we just put this into there. Then you can see that at the beginning, we can... I need to fucking offset it, don't I? Subtract 0.5, multiply by 2. Because it's not a normal map, ha ha ha. Okay. So you can see if we're using a texture to determine our panning direction in just, you know, a bunch of random directions. At the beginning, it looks like it's working. You know, it's panning them all in different directions. But then as time goes on, it just becomes an absolute mess. And then as we approach infinity, it's just absolute, you know, monstrosity. Oh my gosh. And so this is one of the things that Flowmaps are really good at. Now, as... There's a cat. So just as an example, I'm going to get my Flowmap secret source, which is a custom flow map that I have created. You'll be getting it at the end of the video. Lucky you. But I'm just going to do this same thing using the flow map. How the fuck do I want to do this? I'm going to do that. That's our flow map RG text object. The thumbs up texture. UVs is just UVs. Bam, 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 bam. Base color. So cursed. What is my max speed, actually? Stable diffusion be like? Yeah. It do be like. Alright, so you can see here I've got my flow map set up. Now you will notice this isn't really good for actual like textures. But if I was using something appropriate like a cloud noise, then you'll start to see that, yes, this is moving in a direction determined by a texture, and it looks pretty much seamless. Why do you... this can probably have 0. Is that supposed to be 0.5? Yeah, no, that's what I had default, right? Yeah. Yep. Okay. So you can see here that we have our clouds flowing in different directions, and you can almost like follow the flow continuously. You know, we're going along and blah, blah, blah. It goes this way, then it's here, and you don't really notice any artifacting. Now, the other example where we had our changing direction over time. Let's plug this into our flow map. We'll go a little bit slower. So you can see here, we now have this flowing in a direction. I also have a little bit of distortion applied. I can actually change that to 0 just for the time being. All right, so you can see here, we now essentially have a panner equivalent with our flow map. But the difference is that, you know, a few minutes, even hours into a gameplay session, we can change the direction relatively smoothly. We're not getting that jumping between, you know, jumping between values and stuff. How's that? So if you were to do this really slowly, it would just naturally look like it is, you know, changing direction. As you can see here, I'm really steady with my hand. Nope. There we go. Now, again, once some distortion is applied, it's even... Hello? Distortion amount, 1. Yeah, fair. What happens if it is 0? Oh, it just doesn't flow. Oh, yeah, true. Oh, true. Yeah, yeah. All right, let me also just do... So the other really cool thing about Flowmaps is that they... So we've looked at how Flowmaps work when changing direction, but they can also actually change the speed at runtime. So if I just go to the flow map, we're not going to normalize the direction. And I just start increasing it from 0. You can see that, yes, it is, you know, it's flowing. It's flowing. It's flowing. Still flowing. If I put the distortion back to 0. There. And so now, as we speed up the time scale, it just gets faster and faster, as long as we do it slowly enough. And again, we're not getting... Oh, that fucking cloud. Can you, like, fuck off, please? There isn't even... So cringe. Right. Okay. So starting at 0 speed, as we start to increase it, you can see that it smoothly starts getting faster and faster. And as we go even faster and faster and faster, it all just works. Hashtag just works. Oh god, that's really hurting my fucking brain. There we go. What did I put the... Oh, I had the flow speed max at 0.01. Oh my god. Let's slow this bad boy down. There we go. You can just smoothly slow all the way back down to a complete halt. Bam. No longer moving. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yo, knock it. How's it going? Howdy from Brisbane. I hope the weather's good. It's probably better than down here. It sucks. Actually, it's pretty decent outside. I won't lie. Hopefully it's a nice hot day. Nice and sunny. Did you get that software insurance figured out so Amazon can buy your plugin? Not yet. Not yet. I will though. They'll have to pay a bit extra though. 14C, nice, nice. Pretty good for this early in the morning. Do you have tall ceilings, or how do you deal with having no echo in your microphone? Probably like 2.5 meters tall. I think it's a pretty standard room. But number one, use a good microphone. A directional microphone. Number two, I have carpet. Carpet is a big one. Number three, I have sound treatment here. And also there. All along that wall. And then I also have a curtain at like behind me. And a curtain will dampen reflections and stuff as well. Yeah. Basically just like any soft surface will, you know, either diffuse or absorb sound waves. Found a cat hair covering everything also helps dampen sound. Exactly. Get more cats. Anechoic chamber? Yeah, basically. It is actually really, like... It's really dead in here, which is good. This actually used to be like a home recording studio. So, that's why the sound stuff is, you know... Is top-notch. That's why I've got tape on all my XLR cables. Who knows if you're holding in the chamber? 8. Hopefully it sounds horrible after I recently moved. The ceilings are taller than normal, so it's super echoey. Yeah, no, I can imagine. If you're just doing voice, setting up like a couple of light stands or mic stands with like a doona, like, you know, like bed sheets and stuff, can really help with like reflections, you know, down to the back of the room and back. If you literally just put that behind you, or even green screen wouldn't help too much, because the green screen itself would be reflective. But yeah, literally just like having a mattress in the room or having just hanging up bed sheets is like, it'll make a huge difference. If you're doing video, even just having one to the side. Here's a hot tip, right? Get a white bed sheet. So I use a white umbrella looking ass thing up here to like filter light through and whatever. But if you're doing video and want good audio, if you set up a white doona beside you and then bounce a light off that doona, you'll get the effect of sound dampening and also a really big, like, soft light source. As long as you've got like a light that is bright enough to bounce off of that. And, you know, soft light, that's why my forehead looks so smooth and you can't see any of my pimples, because the light is just wrapping around my whole head smoothly. It's like RTX on, you know. I used to have a lot of white around here. No comment. You can see like the lumen bouncing my shirt onto my under chin as well. Focus on audio. I want to record stuff for videos, to do stuff on PC at the same time instead of hiding in my closet. Do the voiceover. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we've all been there. Like, needing really good isolation and just either recording a voiceover in the car. Cars are really good for recording voice. And yeah, like a clothes closet and stuff. How the graphics brain right once I looked at carpet, thought nice parallax occlusion mapping. Fuck me whenever I go outside and there's just like, you know, foliage swaying in the wind, and I'm like, oh yeah, what's like the base, you know, the base oscillation rate, and then there's like the individual limb oscillation rate, and it's all combined, and that's actual hella brain dead. Brain dead. Oops, stop recording. There we go. What are you saying, Duna? I don't even know how to. Or a fuck, what are they called in? Like a duvet, a duvet. It's just called a Duna in Australia. Said to have stemmed from the Danish word "dine," which means down feathers. So we took on this term, 1980s, like an Australian slang term for quilts, and it's stuck around ever since. There you go. D-O-O-N-A. Duna words in other regions. What do Americans call it? A quilt? No. Like a... Just like what you'd sleep underneath on a bed. You know? Or a blank? No, yeah, duvet is typically thicker, more insulated than a blanket. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. A duvet. A duvet? Bed sheet? Quilt? Yeah, a comforter. True, true, true. There you go. That's what I meant. Freedom blankets. Hell yeah. Yeah, we call them Dunas in Australia. Fucking wacky. Going down to Kmart. Get a Duna. Yeah, I need a new Duna from the Kmart. The freedom blankets. America. America, America. Where was I at in this video? I was showing that you can change the... Oh, right. Okay. So, another property that Flowmaps does do, is you can have variable speeds in the flow map. So, for example, let's say we've got our regular old... This one, you know, we're saying flow in this direction. What we could do, in theory, is say, let's just get the text coordinate. And we're just going to get the G channel. G. This is just going to return a gradient from top to bottom. We're going to multiply our speed by that value. Well, I feel like this is... Okay, yeah, well, fuck. Do I have like a cube that isn't shit? Is this... That's not even a cube. What the fuck am I doing? Give me the damn cube. Yeah, the RimWorld cube. the cube. Oh, there we go. All right, so you can see here that we are going faster and then it's slowing down gradually and coming to a complete halt at this end. The other way we could do it is if we were using the R channel, then kind of like a river, it is flowing fast at this end, but not moving closer to the shore or wherever we didn't want it to move. If we got this and just ran it through like a sine... Oh. We just got this, ran it through a sine with a period of 2. Then you can see that it would just be going fast in the middle, but not at either end. And if we had just a period of 1, it could even go backwards here and forwards here, and it looks pretty much seamless. Compare that to if we were using time. You know, we've already explained that. So there we go. That is why we prefer flow maps over panning. Now we need to look at how does a flow map actually operate. Now you don't necessarily need to know this to use a flow map, but it is always a good idea to know how a tool works and the kind of theory behind it, as well as it'll just give you some more insights into shader effects in general and how, you know, shaders are constructed and whatnot. So, let's jump back in to the scene. And the first thing we need to kind of know about is the frac node. So, if we had time and we put it through a frac node, frac is just going to remove all of the, you know, the integer, like anything left of the decimal place. So it's going to return a 0 to 1 value. And why is it? Oh, there's a light source. That's so dumb. Let me just go unlit mode. Okay. So you can see with frac plugged into the base color, as time continues, this value might be in, you know, the hundreds, thousands by now. As time goes on, it's just returning 0 to 1 for each second. So if we looked at a graph of this, then it would be turning this value into something like bam, and then it would restart here, and then restart here, and then restart there. So this would be 1 second here. This would be 2. This would be 3. So on, so on. And so what we can do... And so what we... And so flow maps take advantage of this sort of repeating pattern. And so flow maps kind of... how do I even explain this shit? You know what, let me just... I need to explain why this doesn't work in a panner as well. There it goes. All right. Always 0 to 1? Yes, even if it's negative. It just truncates anything left of the decimal place. So you might be wondering, if we can just get a 0 to 1 value using frac, why don't we just frac time and then use that to do our panner? Now, the reason this doesn't work is that if this was 1, everything looks fine. You know, it's going where it should go. But as we start to go faster, speed-wise, this doesn't, you know, it pans 0... then... So you can see as the speed increases, the actual, like, speeding up and down of it looks fine, but it doesn't loop for, you know, this is looping 1.6 times before it resets back to 0, if that makes sense. So what a flow map does is essentially creates multiple of these where they, you know, they go a certain distance and then reset back to their original place. But it layers them all on top of one another, and then it will actually ping-pong between each of these things. So you can imagine... Should we just construct one from scratch? Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Or actually, no. Let's just do this, but we'll use the thumbs texture. And we'll just put that into there. We don't need any distortion. We also just want this value. Oops. So you can see here, now that I'm using the flow map, you can see that it's just getting multiple things, multiple different samples of this texture, and panning them and fading between each of them. And it just so happens that the moment that, let's say this face right here, fades out, it resets back to its original position, like we saw when we were using a panner, but it fades in, and then it fades out and resets while it's faded out. And so we layer 3 of these, in my case, 3 of them, on top of one another, and as we start increasing the speed, we are simply just... And if you remember, when we were adjusting the speed using a fract time panner, the actual transition of speed looked fine, but it's just that it wouldn't loop the whole way. It was breaking the sort of loop when it was like not, you know, an integer number. So with this, even if this slows down all the way to, you know, close to 0, you can see that they're just panning a little bit. So this one's panning over a tiny bit, then it resets back to its original position, and then it keeps looping that. And so this is why the flow map can work with adjusted. And so this is how a flow map actually works with, you know, variable direction and variable speeds and all that kind of stuff. Now, as you can probably tell, this isn't the best way to do panning like a real, you know, like an important texture that needs to retain its visual quality. This is really useful more for things like noise. Oh, what's it called? Cloud noise. So you can see with this noise pattern, you can barely tell that it's kind of flip-flopping between, you know, a bunch of different texture samples, especially when I start, you know, distorting it and whatnot. That, like, breaks up the tiling and the sort of flippity-floppity. And then as we start, you know, changing the values, it just, you know, looks pretty decent. Let me just get rid of all this shit. Is that a river rainbow puke? Yes, it is. Very much so. Okay, so if you own a copy of Unreal Engine, I guess you don't own Unreal Engine. So if you have Unreal Engine, which if you're watching this video is probably the case, there is a built-in function called Flowmaps. You can see it's a little bit bigger than my Flowmap function, but size obviously isn't everything. Copium. And so if we jump into their Flowmap function, you'll see that it is a complete and utter pigsty. No offense to whoever created this function. But if we just go to my function instead, you'll kind of understand a bit better how a flow map works. Look at that. Stunning. Beautiful. Stunning and beautiful. So you can see here a difference between my flow map function and the built-in one is that theirs uses 2 samples, whereas mine uses 3. The reason mine uses 3, and I'll actually just show real quick. Flow map vector. Can that doesn't have to be normalized, no. UV texture 2 offset. Oh, right, the second texture, yeah. Okay. Why is the tiling so... What the fuck? Oh, is this in world space? Can you just, like, I don't know, 512 or some shit? No, what are you doing? UVs. Give me the what the text coordinate. UVs. Thank you. Okay. Why does it suck so much? Hold on. Time, see tooltip. Time. Divide by 2. Okay. So you can see here in the Unreal version of the Flowmap doodad, you can kind of see that it's just swapping between 2 textures back and forth. And it's kind of really obvious because the texture kind of looks like it goes grey on and off. And so and the reason for this is that it's literally just going like this one goes up and then down and then up and then down, and then the other texture goes down and then up and then down and then up, And so these bits in here, you just have like, you know, a 50-50 blend of the two noise textures, which usually just results in it being grey. It's also just a little bit obvious what's going on using this one. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I made mine for a reason. So yeah, here you can see that it's just flipping between two different textures. Whereas mine is just a little bit more subtle. If I disable distortion again. There you go. So mine kind of uses 3 overlapping textures, which are in a pattern of... So mine uses 3 textures, which are in a pattern of this, then this, then this, and then this, and then this, and then this, blah, blah, blah. This one goes bam, oh, bam, bam. No, hold on. Down, up, hold. No, this is 2. Oh, fuck. It goes down, up, hold, down, up, hold, down. And then the third one goes hold, down, up, hold, down, up, hold. Like that. So at any given point, a texture is fading in. So white, fading in, fading in, fading in, fading in. And at any given point, one is fading out. Bam. All these ones. You can see that something's always fading out. And then something is always being completely steady. So not fading in or out. And usually there's 2 overlapping at the same time. Wait, red would... Right, red would have actually... you know, fuck it. Not worth explaining. So at any given point, there are... Is this it? No, oh, no, it's fucking overlapping by a third. I fucking did my diagram wrong. I'm so dumb. Just want to die. You know what? It doesn't actually matter. Yeah, they get the point. They get the point. I want to die. Why is it in a different direction as well? Kindred, how's it going? Sorry, I'm so distracted. So distracted. Yeah, it's a Flowmap material function that I made for my plugin. But I'm just making a video about Flowmaps in general, just so people can kind of learn about them, why they work, what they're used for, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've used it in my plugin to do, like, you know, foam movement, and like wind stuff. Milk simulation. All this kind of shenanigans. This is going to be one of those hour-long videos, isn't it? I feel like there's just, like, so much to explain. Can I have to release Prismatica 2? True. Does that mean that I'm effectively immortal? Is that like a life hack? It's an interesting question. It's an unlife hack. It's a life unhack. Alright, where was I up to in this fucking... Alright, we're going to look at how the flow map's actually constructed. Here you go. Getting Prismatica before Silk Song? Now that's funny. Where's my content dump flow map video? Cool. Okay. So, long story short, my function is better. The end. We can end the video there. Just kidding. Alright, so let's deconstruct a flow map step by step. We understand the theory, we understand the use cases. Let's actually construct it. So, the basis of it is the 3 different texture samples. They are all taking in one. So the meat and the potatoes of this function is the triple sampler. This takes in a texture object. It's just an easy way that, you know, they can all share the one texture reference, so that you don't have to put in, you know, 3 different textures. Anyway, fuck it. Over here is where they all get blended together. So we multiply them by their opacity value and then add them together. And we then divide it by 2 because the constant value is 2 for our thingers. At any given point, you know, I can't be fucked explaining. Okay. So what is happening over this end? Well, we have the actual flow map input, which is the RG value. This doesn't have to be normalized. The flow map determines both the direction and also the speed of the flow map. For some reason, I just multiply mine by -1 because we are subtracting from here, which I probably don't even fucking need to do now that I think about it. We could just add to the UVs. That could save 1 operation. Anyway, so I multiply mine by -1 just to invert it, because it was going the wrong way, basically. Then, then we have the UVs input. So if you wanted it, to be tiling, more or less, or you wanted it to be world aligned, that's where the UVs come in. This down here is just some extra noise to break up the tiling. So that's why this distortion amount goes into here. If you've watched my time video, which you can find on YouTube somewhere, you'll know about distorting time using a texture. Sounds very, very technical, but it's quite a simple thing once you understand it. And so you can see, essentially, we've got time, we've got some, you know, the UVs and the distortion and blah, 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 blah. And then we frac it. So this is our 0 to 1 value. Then over here, because we have 3 samples, we need to offset this fracked value by 1/3 and 2/3, and then frac it again so that it's essentially moving so that essentially it's turning a a graph like this into either moving forward and then coming out here until it, resets. And then another one 2/3 ahead, which does this, and then comes out here. That's very wonky. Comes out here, which lines up here. And these are our 3 kind of timelines. Okay. So we then get each of these timelines, and we multiply it by the amount that we want to pan the texture by, and then we add that to the UVs, which essentially moves it in the direction. Then lastly, but not leastly, actually, wait, hold on. I just want to test something. What happens if I don't frac this value and just offset it? Because it's a UV. I think it gets fucked if I use world position. Let me just double check. Give me the double. No, I actually don't need that frac. Because UVs tile. Yeah, it's technically not needed. That's literally just saying get the UVs and tile them diagonally. Yeah. Fuck it, yeah. Without these offsets, you probably wouldn't notice much. Well, if I did this, if we had the thumbs up texture, you'd notice that, yeah, they'd all be, yeah, like this. Which maybe isn't bad, Maybe I should do that offset as a as an optional thing. As like an input. Because if we do these offsets, then it's kind of more random. Anyway. We hit play again. So after we have panned the textures by adding... values to the UVs, we then apply an offset to the second and third sample. Essentially what this does is it just kind of... Hello? What? Wait, what is... Where am... Go... Fuck you. There you go. Essentially what this does is that it makes the texture kind of appear in a more random location per, like, each sample. If these... Pardon me, I burped. If these weren't here, then you'd see that the texture kind of looks like it's all just, going bit by bit. Which might actually be the effect that you're going for. But For something like a noise texture, it's usually better to have a random offset, especially when you start... well, actually... I think I now remember why... Hold the phone. Hold that thought. No, that's fine. Oh, right, because it's not gonna... right, I think I remember why I exist now. Yeah. So you can see if we don't have that kind of randomized offset, if you had something going at a really low speed, it would kind of look a little bit fricky. Obviously, it's very exaggerated with this texture. And as you start, you know, making things go in different directions and whatnot, then it kind of starts to be a bit more random. However, with noise, what's it called? PrisCloud. However, for something like, you know, a panning noise texture, this kind of creates some weird repetitive patterns. So it is usually better to have the random offset, so that even at slower speeds, it still looks, you know, not terrible. Radio. So the only other element to discuss is this little, you know, train rail switcher down here. The essence of it is taking that 0 to 1 value, subtract UE5, multiply by 2, and then absolute. So this little operation here is essentially getting... Oh, is essentially taking our 0 to 1 value, 0, 1, and we're offsetting it down by 0.5, which takes it to here. Oh, so this goes through 0.5. Well, yeah. So this is now negative 0.5. This is now positive 0.5. This is 0 in here at time 0.5. And then we multiply it by 2. So it's now, bam, back up to 1 at time 1. But it's at negative 1 down here off the screen. Then we use an absolute node, which makes all negative values positive, which then creates a V. Right? A nice V over a period of 1. And so this is our fade in and out function. And we're gonna overlay a bunch of these. That's why we have 3 of them. We offset these two by 1/3 and 1/6. We need to 1 minus it. So we need to 1 minus it so that the V actually goes up this way, like that. And then we multiply it by 1.5 because we want to essentially truncate the top of it So if we multiplied it by 1.5, it would look something like this. But then we use a saturate node to clamp the top of it. So we essentially end up with a kind of a trapezium. Is it a trapezium? Or is it a rhomboid? I don't know. And so this is 1/3. There. And the reason we choose 1.5 is because this is 1/3 of the shape, this is 1/3 of the shape, and this is 1/3 of the shape. And that's what we overlay when we do our, you know, this goes there, then to there, and then like that, and then down, and then up, and then like that, and then the other one's going like this, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it stays steady, and blah, blah, blah. And that's how we get our dude. So we take all these three values, multiply our three texture samples that are panning with their little fracky doodads with the offsets, and then add them together. This is essentially how a lerp works to some extent. And then we just divide it by 2, because at any given point in this weird little shape we have going on, for example, here we have a value of 1, and we have two 0.5s. 0.5, 0.5. That adds up. That adds up to 2. Here we would have 1. We'd have 0.75. And here we'd have 0.25. Adds up to 2. If we looked, I don't know, here, we have one that is 1, and another that is 1, and one that is 0. It adds up to 2. So it's a constant luminosity function. And so we divide it by 2 so that it's the original texture's value at the output. And so that's how my little cute little triple flow map extravaganza works. Hopefully you can kind of understand how and why it works as well. And now let's just look at a few examples of it in action. So, well, actually, do we even need... well, yeah, we could look at it like in a river or something. Let me just set something up real quick. All right, sorry. Let me look at the chat. What the fuck is going on in here? That's a cool part. Prismatica isn't a game project. It's a performative art piece. That is actually very apt. That's an apt description. You know what? It kind of actually is, though. Because, like, Prismatica is about the process of making Prismatica. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me have a look, Big Imp. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's literally it. Nice. Let me, where's time? How do I change time? T... Can I choose... Trapezoidberg. Trapezoidberg. That's funny as. Getting F6 with... that would be 2t in all the equations. Except unused in the first. Oh, right. Can I just... Where's t equals... Do we have like a variable section? No? What do you mean like... Oh, right, because time is just session time. Gotcha. No, okay, yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Yep. What was this one? Here? No, that's not it. Minus T? No. Where's... What one's our... I need to do both. No? Why is he going? I'm so confused. Because I can't... Yeah. Can I do T equals 2 or something? No, I can't just do that in there. Oh, in F2. Right. What am I... Okay, there we go. No, if I just do it in line 2. Yep. There we go. All right. I'll do a little insert of this. So as Big Imp from Twitch chat, shout out to Big Imp, has so kindly set up in GraphToy. This is essentially what our try fadey inny outy function looks like. So if you imagine this line here is our current value. You can see that all of the lines are always... You can see that one is always fading out, one is always fading in, and one is always staying steady. Very pog. Yeah, okay, that's a good point, Rosie. So you can see at least one is always fading out, at least one is always fading in, and then at least one is staying completely steady. So this is why mine tends to look a little bit more stable than the Unreal version, because the Unreal version is just... but it's not clamp. Oh god, I can't be fucked. Oh, right, yeah, that's nice. Oh! That's fine. We got the footy. We got the footage. All right, let's look at... You know, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, and I might make a cup of tea. And then we're just going to jump in PrismaticaDev and just look at like an example of how this works with a real-time flow map. Use 1/3 instead of 1. Oh, yeah. Nah, I get you. All right, BRB. Hello. Oh. Hello, namaste. All right. What the fuck was I doing? PrismaticaDev. That's right. That's right. All right. Let's just chuck my fella. The old Chucky. Smack him over here. I could even, Alright. Oh, hello, girl. Goodbye, girl. How is everyone, by the way? Sorry, I've just been making this video, and it's like, I just haven't been able to chat to you guys and stuff. I hope everyone's doing well. I'd love to know what everyone's up to. How's everyone's projects going? Also wanted to let everyone know that I accidentally spilled heaps of vanilla essence in my tea. And it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I'm pretty sure, it's a Melbourne breakfast tea, right? Melbourne breakfast is black tea, black tea and vanilla. And a New York breakfast is black tea, vanilla, and cinnamon. Which one has maple? What's tea with maple syrup? Is that... Or maybe that's just a thing that I do. I need to get some maple syrup. That shit's so good. Maple cinnamon milk tea. So good. Tell you how you used to be for a cold. True. It's just yum. It's just real yum. Same but different. Doing good? Hell yeah. Been sick for a week, feeling better. It's good that you're feeling better. Being sick sucks. God, when I had COVID, that was like the first time I'd been physically sick in like years. And it was agonizing. Just like not being like, I don't know, just not being able to like do stuff. It's terrible. Oh, second devlog finally, so that's exciting. Hell yeah. Do you want to link the first one in chat? If people want to give it a geese. Finally added PrismaticaDev. Nice. Repping the P-scape. Updating LinkedIn. Sag. Last few days I've written countless pages of incomprehensible scroll routing the structure of my game systems. Nice. That sounds like something that I am constantly doing, and I never stop doing it. Hence the pages and pages of paint diagrams. Work on sailing mechanics for the ships of my Viking zombie game. Ooh, nice. If anyone ever thinks they want to make a physics-based vehicle that's also buoyant, don't do it. Yeah, that's fucked. I've never done it with a vehicle. I've done it with, like, static props. But, yeah. It's kind of fun. Buoyancy is, like, a fun thing to doodle with. Like, doing waves and then accessing that in the CPU by, like, doing a parallel doodad and whatnot of, like, the wave generation. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it's tough because you have to. If you're doing it physics based, it's like, yeah, the physics body already has gravity, but you have to then completely counteract gravity, but only towards the surface of the... I don't know. I just kept tweaking mine till it worked. That's about it. Viking zombie game sounds good, though. I think there needs to be more medieval zombie games. Or, like, you know, medieval/fantasy classic zombie games. Alright, so let's look at an example of how I use a flow map. I use it in my plugin PrismaticaDev, which is for sale on the Epic Marketplace for $34.99. You may have heard of it before. It's all I ever talk about these days. But you can see here, I've got the flow map. I'm using the wind sample. And I'm getting the length of that to actually, like... how do I even explain this? So... oh, I have to multiply by 0.5. Yeah. Whoops. 0.5. Shit. There we go. So you can see here, when it's stationary, this is all we have. Oh. And then if I start to move it around, you can see that it changes direction using the flow map. And it looks pretty decent. Now, this would be for something... So the other thing that I do in this case, usually, is that I actually use the length of the flow map to determine where the effect gets revealed. So in this case, it's blank, and then where the flow map is the heaviest flow, it then reveals the effect. Now, this would be really handy if you were doing like a river shader, for example, and you wanted the speed, and you wanted foam to be where the river was moving the fastest. How can I, Do I have a spline actor thing? Road spline, spleen. Road spline parent. And then we get... oh no, that's just... oh, fuck. Did I have a river spline? Water river spline, there we go. Why are you doing this to me? The 3 years, which our Charlie hath said that gent would playeth Ashen with RVTs. Yond was then, and anon is anon. Hey, one day. I'll have time soon, TM. Trust. Just 6 more years. Yeah, when Prismatic is finished. And you know what? Then we will all play Ashen together. What is this? What mesh is this using? Why is it so shit? Tessellated plane, blah, 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 ups. Oh, no, this... Wait, okay, you fuck off. You... Tessellated plane LED 1, LED 0, Ds. Oh, God, there we go. What the fuck is this, huh? Can I just, like, not... Is it because I'm getting the bounds? Yeah, I know, that's fine. Get location at spline point local, forward axis set scale, set end scale. Why Z? I didn't say offline. I think actually no, that is server based because it does it's kind of like Dark Souls, like that sort of asynchronous dealio. Okay, this is probably good enough. Yeah. Cool. All right, so it's another little example. I've got this little racetrack set up. We're going to turn this into a river using Flowmaps. Right after I unfuck it. There we go. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. So, the first thing we need to do for a river is we need to actually get the direction of the river. So if we get our direction, maybe the red direction, and we're going to transform from local to world space, or from world to local. Local, maybe it's instance particle space because they are instances. Okay, maybe it's world space to instance particle space. Wait, no. We, oh God. How did I do this? Hold the damn phone. I mean, it's literally just this direction, right? It is just X. That's our flow map direction, but then we would speed it up based on some shit. And then we could, if I get distance fieldy boys. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. Austin, hello. Let's go to UE. Looking at big complex blueprints give me brain shivers. Got any advice for organizing them? Yes. Play Factorio for 100 hours. And you will just get good at organizing blueprints. I think Factorio's on sale at the moment, but essentially, like, try and think of things. Oh, where's my? There we go. Special flow map. This is a material graph, but it's the same sort of thing. Essentially, you've got a bunch of inputs on the left, and think of it like a road system or like a train system, you know? So you have this thing, multiple things are using it, so you kind of bring them all back so that they're all in line. This little thing just comes out, ducks under, splits off, gets processed, gets fed back in to the production line and whatnot, and then that's the function output there. Yeah. It kind of just takes a bit of practice, but try not to, like, mess shit up, basically. You can also, if you select something, then select another thing with Control and press Q, it will snap the first thing to the level of the other thing. So that's a really handy thing for keeping stuff organized and looking decent. There's also some plugins that will, like, straighten out the nodes, but I find that to be kind of... It can almost be, like, misleading in some ways. Because you can have overlapping things that are, like, obscuring one another. Whereas if you use the Bezier curve, you know, standard style, you don't get, like, weird overlaps. Like, if I had something going from here to there, but then something going from here to something under here, if they were just diagonal, they could overlap each other entirely, but because they're Bezier curves here, you can always see that there's two things. Well, I could even just do it here with reroute nodes. We go from this corner to this corner, just below there, and then we just get one going to the corner down here and the corner up here. They never, you know, overlap. Whereas if they were electric nodes, they would be overlapping and stuff. So yeah, that's just one reason that I keep the what's it called? Overlap to kill me makes me want to do everything in C++, which I know isn't the best strategy. I mean, if you're comfortable with C++, then you can do essentially everything in C++ and then just use Blueprint to, you know, feed in default variables, you know? Like, if I open up this blueprint and go to class defaults, then all the default variables are here, and I can just update them and that kind of thing. All right, let's get back to the river example. kind of want to do an RVT example for like splitting rivers from a spline, but it's a little bit too... I'll mention it in the example, but nothing beyond that, I don't think. All right. Alrighty, so we have our river. Let's just start with a text object. We're gonna get our noise function. That's not how we select it. Oh shit. We're gonna grab our Prismatiscape noise. Cloud noise. Where are you? There you are. We're gonna chuck that in. We're gonna chuck that into the texture. The flow map, for now we're just gonna use red. And this is in real space. In texture space. So we just chuck this in like that. Then you'll see that it's going backwards. I'm really stupid. We're going to do this instead. Oh, fuck, that is world space, isn't it? Wait, flow map input. Bam, 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 bam. And you are subtracting from UVs, but the UVs are... Oh, the UV is D. Okay, I'm dumb as hell. I'm dumb as hell. Alright, we don't want this in world space. There we go. How can I make this a constant value? Oh, and these are fucking overlapping. You know what? This is just an absolute disaster. Hello, girl. What you doing? Hey, chicken. Little chickenito. What you doing? You wanna come sit? Yeah? Smoocher? Funny girl, funny girl. Oh, you're gonna sit on my lap. Okay. There you go. In your little nest. I'm so bright. All right. So, this is what a river might normally look like if you were using panners. There may be, like, you know, discontinuity between the, you know, the spline meshes. You're gonna have, like, a lot of weird, like, speeding up and slowing down based on the spline itself. And the texture is going to be panning slower on the inner edges and faster on the outer edges. So we're going to alleviate that by And now I have to figure out how to actually fucking do it. We need to convert our... We need to convert... Oh, because the... We need to get... Orientation? Object orientation? No, but that's a whole object. How do I do just the individual spline points? Oh, wait, what? We're gone? We back? Oh, right, Marb. You're on the wrong... Yeah. Alright. He's back. He's back. Let me just fucking figure out the best way to do transform. It's not transform position. We want to just transform... Is there anything spline related? Generate a spline. No thanks. This is what I wanted. Tangent to world space. But then I only want the X, Y, and then I want it normalized. So if that was just like this. Is it tangent to world space, or is it local to world space? Or is it world view, can't view, what? Instance particle space. 001. No. Okay, so it must be tangent, right? It's the only thing that makes sense. So that is the positive red direction. Blah, blah, blah. It's positive green direction. Okay, okay. Yeah. So you can see here, we actually want our texture to be in world space. That's what mine defaults to. I should probably specify that in there. You can see that if I just say red direction, it's absolutely terrible. But if we get the red direction and then transform tangent to world space, I'm also just going to nullify the B component and then normalize it again. If we, let's just say we plug this into the base color, you can see that when the river is going up in world space, then this value is red. As it's going this way in world space, you can see with our little widget arrow, the value is green. Over this side, it looks like it's black, but it's actually negative red. And over here, it's actually negative green because it's going in that direction. And so if we now put this into our flow map, it's going to be going the wrong way, but actually maybe it won't be. No, it's going the right way. You can see now that we don't have those weird seams in the, in the texture, because we're taking our world space noise and we're flowing it in a bunch of different directions. As such. Let me just world pause All right. Now, the other thing that you might notice is that the speed on the outside and the speed on the inside are identical. So if we were doing this the old way, which was just fucking panning something. Let me just get a panner. Yeah, anyway. Cool. Now, the other thing we might want to do with a river is actually get the speed. Actually, you know what? Let's just mask this into the B channel. Right. So the other thing we might want to do with a river is make the water flow faster in the center. So if we actually just get our text coords and we just get the R element, or actually no, maybe it's the G element. Let's see. This is our, yeah, okay, so if we get this, we then run this through a Siny boy. If you don't know what sine does, check out my sine video. We then have a gradient from no movement to movement to no movement. If we then multiply our flow map, this bad boy here, or sorry, our flow, there. If we then multiply our flow direction by this value, and then fucking plug it back in, then we can see that the water is flowing faster in the center, but less fast at the very edges. Now, obviously, water wouldn't be completely stationary, you know, at the edges, but you can see that this is looking more like a river than the example, you know, at the start of this little sesh. Now, because this is... Now, because this is like a world projected texture, it kind of makes it look like the slopes are running faster than, you know, the not slopes. If this, however, was a, you know, text coord based thingo, we could get the vertex normals, get the B element, so the upward facing normal element. We just multiply that by some, you know, some value, and then add that to the multiplier of our doobly-doo. And that would then make it, we need to get the 1 minus of that and saturate it. So in case our water goes upside down. So this would then make the, you know, the bits that are less upward facing move faster. And you can see that it just seamlessly does it because of the flow maps. So without it, it's going this fast. With it, it's going this fast. Cool. And we can just slow that down or speed it up as we need. Oh yeah, sorry, Mub. Yeah, I'm filming a little explainer on Flowmap. I say a little explainer. It's probably going to be an hour-long video. Whoops. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, right. It's doodle-dicked because it is clumpy. Classic, classic. Oh god. What have I done? Nice. It's cursed. Anyway. Jodeg, yeah, I'm just filming a video. Up nice and early. I figured I'd stream now and then stream later tonight. But I'm just filming a video now. While I've, you know, got energy and I'm alive, basically. What else do I need to cover in this thing? Right, revealing the flow map, blah, 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 blah. If I didn't normalize that, would that be going the same speed? It does. That's actually kind of funky. Yeah, yeah. Because the... Oh, yeah. So then if that was more, we'd get more here, and you could actually adjust the increase. Right. Why is that not... Saturate, multiply by billion. Okay, no, it does work. Okay, what else did I need to do in this example? This is like kind of it. I guess like revealing the foam. And so now that we have this flow mapped texture doing its thing, we can essentially use it in a height lerp. If you don't know what a height lerp is, check out my height lerp video, coincidentally. Essentially, we just have a contrast. We put lots of contrast in there. We go to contrast 5, whatever. This is going to be our texture. So our texture -1, add our transition value multiplied by 2. And put that into the contrast, and then that goes into here. Now, our transition value is going to be a combination of things. We're probably going to get the length of the flow map and saturate that, and then put that into there. We'll see what this does. This will essentially make it more foamy at the rapids, This is a little bit cursed, so we're gonna like make it chill a bit. Maybe even a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So you can see that. Maybe I'll just... Maybe I'll do it manually. I don't know, brother. Okay. So essentially what we've done here is where it is... So essentially what we've done here is where the river is moving the fastest, that being the center and on slopes, we're increasing the, you know, the obviousness of the effect and whatnot. Now, you could just do this manually using all of the factors. So, for example, if we just did our vertex normal world space, put that into here, and multiply it by 2, then we're only going to get the effect. Then we're only going to get the effect on steep slopes. We could also then just get the middle of the river and just add some factor of that to our equation. Let's not multiply. So, I don't know, 0.5. Add that in. Cool, cool. Oh, sorry, Gil. Can you move? Very good. I need to get this cat off me real quick. And then as an extra little treat... oh, excuse me. You're good. And then as an extra little treat, we could use a distance fields node. So if we just grab, I don't know, any shape, chuck it in there. We go into our material. We get our distance field, distance to nearest surface node. And our distance field gradient. Then we could essentially get this flow map to redirect. So let's actually go back to our flow map doodad right here. So we're just visualizing our flow map. I'm actually going to add, just at the end, add 1 and divide by 2. Which is just going to make it so that... Oh, fuck off. So we're going to add 1, divide by 2, just so we can see the negative values. There we go. And then let's get our distance to nearest surface. We're going to divide that by, I don't know, maybe 100. Then we are going to get our distance field gradient. We're going to normalize that. Multiply it by this. And if you're not sure how that would look, let's just visualize it in here. You can see this square is a little bit funkalicious, but that's just how those distance fields do be. Maybe I could use a, what's it called? Also, why does this... Oh, that needs to be saturated. Now we have a fall off. Ooh, that's kind of ugly ass. Why is that not... Oh, because... No. Huh? Right, I only want the RG. Distance field gradient. Mask. RG. Normalize. Multiply. Why does that not... So confused. Do we not want it? Wait, is it unnormalized? I'm so confused, brother. Hey, brother. Da 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 do 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 do. I'll try my other method. Wow, distance fields suck. Right, you know what? Let's just visualize this. Oh, I know what's wrong. I didn't fucking 1 minus it. I didn't 1 minus it, because I'm dumb as fuck. Alright, we're getting there now. Let me just increase the distance to near a surface. So this is our... What the fuck are you? Why do you do this to me, Unreal 5? Why are you so cringe? Why are you so cringe? Let's just 150. That's probably fine. Then we're going to multiply this by the distance field gradient, multiplied by some number. Doesn't really matter. Then we're going to put that into here, put that into the base color. This will be our thing that we want to affect the flow map with. This here. I could probably normalize. Let's just see how that looks, because we're then multiplying it by the dude. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So then if we add this distortion to our original flow map, or our original direction, sorry, which was not you, it was this RG, add this stuff, and then normalize, and then put that into there. We should now have... Oh my god, what the fuck? What if I just add it? Why am I getting divide by zeros? I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's figure out why this is going wrong. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend. Blam, 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 blam. Bum, bum. Why does this happen? Distance to nearest surface, do the thing. Get distance field gradient RG. I guess it is the normalize, right? Probably. Yeah. Because it's then zeroed out. But that shouldn't even matter, because we're just... Ugh. Do I just need to clamp it? I guess, yeah. Because it's going into the negative billions. If I multiply this by 100, then we don't get the fuckery. Then we get squareness, but... Yo, that looks pretty good. Alright, fuck it. And then we add that to this. We are going to get an added flow to the dude. There we go. All right. So here is the final setup right here. If you don't know what these values do, just get good. And then you can see that we are affecting our flow direction of our river by the distance fields. If we actually just go a little bit lower, then it shouldn't be as terrible. That's not too bad. That's 1 meter. And so if this goes higher, you can see that we are affecting them, you know, more. So let's actually see how this looks when we actually do our flow function. So if this is our final flow map here, then we essentially want to get this into our flow map RG. Let's just do the original texture just to see how it would be flowing. It's very cursed. Let's get this and chill it out a bit. It probably has to be, yeah, there we go. Cool. Let me also just change the scale of this. That's better. Probably look better if it was not a cube. Let's get like a cliff. Cliff mesh. Just a big old rock. Cliffity, cliffity. Oh, that's quite large. That's a cliff formation. Let me just get a regular cliff. Let's just make this go slower. Okay, so you can start to see that this is affecting the actual direction of the water. Now, this isn't like the best solution. Obviously, the water would divert and actually go off this way. This is just an effect that kind of makes it look like it's sort of, you know, diverting around it. Like this. This is obviously a very extreme example. The other thing you could do is make the effect longer on the trailing and leading edge of the meshes. The way you do that is using distance field gradient dotted against the direction of the thinger. I actually covered that in another video in the distance fields number 2 video, but this is just like a nice little subtle effect, especially when you have stuff like, you know, shorelines and like different rocky embankments and whatnot. It will just sort of make... Oh, why are you not... Oh, that's grid. Wrong one. It'll just make the river kind of seem a little bit more reactive to its surroundings. Like so. And then you could use this here to feed into, you know, this contrast value thinger. So we just chuck that in here. Bam, bam, bam. If this was our thing. And then we just, I don't know, multiply this by less number. 0.5, I don't know. See what works. Yeah, cool. Then you can see we've got just some foam around things that would be obstructing the water. Neat little effect. And, you know, yeah, I'll say. Cool. Cool, man. Cool, man. We could even make it suck in. Oh, yeah, suck. Look at that suckage. Excuse me? Well, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video about flow maps. We covered what they are, what they're used for, when to use them versus a panner. I gave you a few little examples of how I'm currently using flow maps, and we also built our own flow map, or at least we covered a flow map function that I created. I will be linking the link to my flow map. I will be providing a link to the flow map that I created in the description of the video. So let me know if you find it useful or not. If you do want to support monetarily, you can do so through... If you do want to support... Fuck, I need to work on my YouTube. I haven't done YouTube in so long. If you do want to support monetarily, you can do so for as little as $1 per month through the Patreon, which is always linked in the description. You can also support by buying the PrismaticaDev plugin for $34.99. Every little purchase helps me greatly. There is always support for, you know, using the plugin in the Discord and whatnot, so don't feel like... If you feel like it's a little bit over your head, don't worry, because I've got you covered. We've got guides, we've got documentation playlists. It's all there. And thank you very much for watching. And with that, we say goodbye. Goodbye. Good girl. And we end the recording. All right. I'm not actually gone yet, by the way. Although I am going to go in 2 minutes. But we can just hang out with the cat till then. Imi, how's it going? Was wondering if you had any issues with UE5 crashing when you paint landscapes. Not yet. Are you in 5.4? Because I know 5.4 is quite unstable. It's a little bit of a mess at the moment. It could be something to do with the RHI upgrades and like the way that shaders compile. And because landscapes, when you paint a unique combination of landscape layers, it will compile a new shader to be used on that landscape tile or any other tiles that have that same combination. It might be something to do with that if you're in 5.4. If you're in 5.3, then I haven't had any issues, but yeah. Has pixel animation on your materials, you're welcome. That also applies to like panning textures and Flowmaps, actually. That setting. But yeah. Alright, well, I think we're just gonna wrap it up. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I will be streaming later. So in about maybe 9 hours from now, maybe 10 hours from now, I'll be streaming again. And we're actually going to work on some non-filming video-related stuff. We're going to be working on something from this list that isn't another video. We're not gonna do another video tonight. But I've got a bunch of Prismatica stuff I want to do, which is the character physical movement in 5.4. I just want to test whether constraints or tethers work. If knockback would work, if there's an easier way to do sliding on surfaces, see if walking creates backwards force, and also if soft collision would work, if that works. We're also going to do a bit of C++ this month, just a little bit of, you know, a little bit of cheeky C++. Eventually we'll work on Prismatica again properly. Particularly because I want to open sausage soon. Gravity now customizable. Yeah. That's hella good. And then there's just a bunch of visual stuff that I want to do just kind of in the, you know, in between, like, scary stuff. And then Prismatiscape, there's an update. There's just stuff that's half finished that I haven't included yet. And then I also want to dick around with a plugin idea for drawing on characters, like using that unwrap method, but in Niagara Grid 2D, because it's just way faster. So that's kind of my month of June. We've done this now. We did this one. I just need to edit it, or get a certain very cool person to edit it. I should save this, actually. This is the June Todo. There we go. So yeah, that's it from me. It is raid time. If you guys have anyone you want to raid, let me know, because I will raid if we feel like raiding. What's his name? Jellycar Man. Wallaber. think he made Jellycar. Yeah, he totally did. Mudbound Dragon. Okay, let's go Mudbound _ Dragon. Nice. All right, let's go. Mudbound Dragon. Start the raid. I like that art style. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all later tonight. And with that, Girl Cat and myself say goodbye. Goodbye.